everybody, welcome to Trackilicious. Happy Monday, and you know what that means. It's time for the GT4 Rookies. It's round number 5 at Kyalami. I'm Kujaterekov, and joining me in the booth this week, we've got Neil Kerbel.
Hello again, Kuja. Thanks for inviting me back. Pleasure to be out here at Kyalami this week.
Yeah, super fun track down under in South Africa. We are past the midway mark of the season. We have had some super tight battles all the way throughout. The top, we have had, two McLarens on the front row. Rocco, welcome to the podium. Back for 3 months. And I am sure there will be many more. Thank you, Rocco, for the subscription. Hope you are having a good start to the week so far. And indeed, Tyler, it is time. But the controller edition. For Tyler Morgan, that is, because he has had a slight injury, unable to get behind the wheel, but still able to take part behind the controller. So it'll be very interesting to see how he gets on throughout the event here at round number 5.
Yeah, I love to see the dedication. He's injured, but he's still racing.
Yeah, it's always good to see the dedication throughout the championship. We've got a hydrate from Rocco. Cheers, thank you. Just did one, but I'm going to do it again, but with a different one.
Oh, yeah.
LaCroix this time.
Speaking of hydrate, what are you drinking tonight, Kuja?
Well, we've got the usual hot and cold option. The hot option is some Earl Grey tea, and the cold option is some lime sparkling water.
Oh, nice. Very refreshing.
Yeah, it is. Qualifying's underway, folks. Let's head to the track and see what the action is going to be all about. Akane Kalen, the race winner from last week in both race 1 and 2, looking to get the qualifying session started. Rolling out of the garage and getting set to go for the first 15-minute session of the evening.
Yeah, one of the 3 McLarens that are on the grid tonight. I'm really excited to actually see we have 6 Ginettas out there at Kyalami. Perhaps they know something that we don't?
Yeah, the Kyalami, or not the Kyalami, the Ginetta swarm has grown from race to race here. It started off, I think, with about 3 or 4, but now, like you said, up to 6 already with those Ginettas. In a track like Kyalami will surely favor the short wheelbase of the Ginetta, not known for its straight line speed, but they're surely going to be well suited to these tight and twisty conditions here.
Yeah, they're just going to have to capitalize on that Ginetta's tight grip through those corners and just capitalize on taking as much speed through this windy track. Just the only place I think they'll suffer is that finishing line straight, which is the longest straight on this track.
Yeah, it is, and even then the cars struggle to get up to their top gear as they get down to the braking zone there. So even then, not quite as long as we might expect to see at some other venues. Not that long of a lap. It's less than 3 miles, 2.81, with 16 corners. Just not a lot of room for straights here.
Not a lot, no. So I really think the Ginetta might be a pretty good selection for this track. So we'll see where some of these cars come out on the grid once these drivers start setting some times. And it looks like Tyler's the first out, starting. Is that his first hot lap?
Yeah, I think he was the first out of the pits. This should be his first time lap, and as we mentioned before, the GT4s don't have any tire blankets, so it might take a few laps for us to see some truly representative times at the top of the standings. But nonetheless, Tyler here going to try to put on a valid lap and just get on the board.
And as long as they keep it clean and consistent, we should see those lap times just steadily improve as those tires get up to temperature.
And with the tight, twisty nature of Kyalami too, it's going to be pretty difficult to stay within those track limits, and you really don't want to run wide. There's not a lot of tarmac runoff, a lot of natural grass or gravel, and the curbs pretty heavy in a few parts there. You saw Tyler taking it very heavily, entering the S's at turn 8. And as he climbs up the hill into another very heavy braking zone at Kyalami, at the top of the hill, turn number 10, before swinging back down the hill. This is one of the other places where top speed will really benefit in the setup.
And a key overtaking area too. A lot of cars are able to push that brake marker going up the hill pretty close. You'll see, especially GT4s, getting on the inside and trying to make some overtakes in that hairpin.
That hairpin, and then down the hill too as Tyler goes through turn number 13 and into the infamous cheetah quarter. A very heavy sausage curve protecting the inside, and it looked like he just managed to keep a wheel on the racing surface to keep the lap valid. We'll see where he goes or what time he gets exactly when he crosses the line. It is a 152.882 on the board. Drew Freiberger coming in behind in the McLaren improves that benchmark by about 0.6 of a second in his McLaren. Tony Gold on the board in the 51s, a 51.432.
Yeah, it looks like as cars are going around putting rubber down on track, we're going to see a lot of these times start coming in. A lot of improvement from all the drivers on the board right now, so this will be their second lap around. We'll see if they're able to improve on their banker lap.
Yeah, getting some times on the board here. Gold still on top. Wes Jones in second after putting in a monstrous 140 laps in the practice server this week. Sir Kojay goes to the top with a 151.235 in his Mercedes.
Very nice lap from Kojay.
And on the first one too, you don't really see it that often that there's such a quick time on the board on their first outlap. Karabete goes into the top 5 in his 704 McLaren. We've seen him start from the front row alongside Akane Kalin. And will this be the track where maybe the McLaren isn't quite the best suited for it?
I don't know. I've driven the McLaren around Kyalami, and it's pretty fast. It's got some very good straight line speed and can handle the corners pretty well. You just need to, you know, like wrangle the car to really get it to do what you want, but it can do it. I think these drivers just stay out, warm up those tires, and just, you know, focus on consistency, hitting your brake markers and your apexes. Just get that car rotated and get back on throttle as early as possible.
Yeah, we'll see what time Kalin puts on the board. This should be the first flying lap for the number 31 McLaren, coming out a little bit later. And we will see exactly where the multiple race winner from the season past will finish. Times on the board improving. Tiny gap between Tony Gold and Sir Kojay at the top. Can Kalin find a way up there? Still not on a valid lap was Akane.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where he's invalidating. I did not catch it.
Yeah, it was very difficult to point out. Nonohara gets on the board into 12th place in that number 42 Janetta.
Like we got a few drivers with improvements coming through. Kilcoin, looks like he just came across in P3, setting a 151.5. Nice in the Janetta.
Karabete here goes to the top, gets a great tow from the KTM of Hezi Thomas, who pulls out to the side and lets the provisional pole sitter through, but he's going deep on the brakes and the KTM can't quite get it stopped in time, but still on a valid lap for both the McLaren, the 704, and the KTM.
Nail biting right there, especially on a qualifying lap. You really don't want to get in battles with anybody on track. Tows are great, battles not so great.
Yeah, it looked like he got a lot of help at the beginning, but at the end there just couldn't quite, or at the end of the straight I guess, just couldn't quite get untangled from the car behind. Tyler Morgan now to the line, currently sitting just inside the top 10, looking to get an improvement on the board, and he jumps up a good amount of positions, goes up to 7th place, improves his time by about half a second.
Nice, very nice. Coming across the line at a 151.9, so he's still got some room to improve, but that is a good lap from him.
Olajo Yegbe looking to do the same. Was saying earlier he didn't get a lot of practice time, but knows the track, just has to get used to it in these GT4 machines. in ACC. A little bit heavy on the curb, but the Mercedes handles it just fine. The number 13 AMG going to the line now, currently sitting in 16th place. Can he get an improvement on the board? Maybe get into the 15th, maybe even into the top 10, just outside. Goes all the way up to 11th though.
And looks like Kalen just got his valid lap in a 150.7. So as long as he stays consistent with that, that is very fast pace around here.
Yeah, very, very great pace from Kalen. 3/10 ahead of Carabete. Those two McLarens gonna share the front row, it looks like, once again, unless any of the drivers behind can spoil that result. We know Sir Kojay's been quick, Tony Gold as well. Wes Jones has put in a bunch of laps to find those improvements. So will we see Tony Gold or Wes Jones in his AMG slide up in there? Kilcoin with a good time as well in the Ginetta.
Yeah, top Ginetta on the field. We also got a significant improvement from car 419 Freiberger, the Fry Cook, about 8/10 up now on his lap.
Yeah, it looks like the track is really improving here at the end here. Tony Gold coming to the line, needs 5/10 to get onto the front row, and he nearly finds it. He goes onto the front row, but can't quite match Kalen, about a 10th behind.
Splits those McLarens on the front row.
Great lap.
Yeah, amazing. Blanchard 84 is up. Blanchard number 84 is up 9/10. I couldn't tell if he was crossing the line.
Yeah, you just crossed, got into the top 10.
Yeah, great lap from him too. It looks like the Ginettas are slowly creeping up the grid.
Yeah, we've got a few in there. 3 of them are in the top 10. And yeah, how about that? Then Aston in the top 3. Love to see that, and getting the insider knowledge from FPS Cody. Rocco Luciano losing it after the cheetah and into the wall.
That is going to be difficult. You don't want to touch Cheetah. Cheetah is almost guaranteed to send you off into the gravel and potentially ruin your lap.
And as Aguirre is coming up to the line, handles Cheetah a lot more tamely than we saw the Aston Martin of Luciano. He needs about a second to get up to the Aston Martin of Lucas Torado, and invalidated the lap. And yeah, you're both absolutely true. Anything can absolutely happen in the race. And Kalen has shown that he, despite only learning the track fairly recently, has shown top pace at a number of tracks here, and looking for another improvement coming up to the line after the final corner.
It'd be interesting to see Tony Gold and Carabete in chase with Kalen, see if we can, or those two drivers can keep him honest and maybe apply some pressure.
As Kalen pulls off and unable to get an improvement after exiting the final corner, Alice Nonohara sitting in 14th, looking to get into that top 10, needs about a few tenths to sneak up into 12th, and needs about 7 tenths to get up to the top 10, and sneaks up to 12th. Needs another half second to get ahead of Blanchard, and those 3 Ginettas are sitting pretty nice and tight, 10, 11, and 12.
And a good grouping of Ginettas right now. Let's see, they need about 5 tenths to jump Blanchard. So it's possible.
Seen some drivers return to the pits. Drew Freiberger, the Freiberger, one of them. Maybe in the final 2 minutes, we will see a release from the McLaren out onto the track. We'll just have to wait and see.
I thought he had like a nickname like Fry Cook or something, but it might just be Fry Burger.
We can always make something up. We're in charge here.
Ooh, cruising on the exit. Nonohara just barely saves it.
Yeah, invalidating the lap, though, unfortunately, there was Nonohara. Tyler Morgan looking for an improvement with the clock ticking down. The T's great. Energizing, nice and warm. Oh, a drift through. Cheetah runs a little bit wide, but still within track limits is Tyler Morgan in the 72, pushing it all the way to the edge, going up to the line. Can he get into the top 5 maybe? From 9th, goes up to 7th place.
Back to 7th for you, Tyler. Back to 7th. Look at the timing board.
Drew saying he's an entire Happy Meal.
Looks like Hezzy Thomas is up 6/10 on his lap right now. Looks like he's coming to terms or getting some grip with the ATM at Kyalami. See how he handles Cheetah. Just get close, but not too close.
Handles it just fine. Yeah, just the final corner left. On for a pretty good improvement, and he will be able to start another lap as he crosses the line before the checkered flag comes out. Gained about 3/10 on his personal best there and off to the side of the road. And that will be the qualifying session done for the KTM. Haven't talked about the Alpine all evening. Currently in 14th is the number 71. And looking for that jump maybe into the top 10. And gets an improvement on his time, but not quite in position yet. Needs another few tenths to get past Ola Joyegbe, now for 14th. And the timer hits 0, so this will be the last lap for all of those remaining out on track.
Pass before the time reaches 0 will be able to finish their lap as long as they do not invalidate.
Tony Gold just crossed the line, so second will be the highest that the Aston Martin number 87 can finish. Drew Freiberger, Sir Kojay in the pits. Kalen still out on track. Karabete out on track. Wes Jones heavy over the inside curb there, but handling it just fine as he goes through the final 16th corner. Can he sneak into the top 5? Needs about 3/10. Oh, and he just can't get the improvement to the line.
Pretty close to his best lap time, just barely misses out.
Wow, well that was a quick end to the qualifying session. It looked like there were a lot of drivers getting ready to go, but just invalidating their laps at the end there. So that'll take us to race number 1. It'll be about 20 minutes long. And nice and dry conditions. Nice and bright, 2 p.m., optimum track conditions, no cloud in sight. Let's remind ourselves of the starting grid as it's been for a lot of the season. Akane Kalen starts from the front row in first position on pole in the number 31 Kiri X Spirit Racing McLaren. Behind on the front row will be the Aston of Tony Gold in the Academy Motorsports number 87. Aston Martin. Fernando Carabete starts an all-McLaren second row in the KRT 704. He started on the front row before. Can he get back up there during the race? The second of those McLarens belongs to Drew Freiberger of Midpack Mafia in the Got a Minute Racing 419 livery. Behind him, one number up in sequence, the number 420, Sir Kojay, the Chill Bibble Racing AMG, will start from third place. Wes Jones makes it an all-AMG third row in the Baller Squad Racing number 80. John Kilcoyne is next in the Firebrand number 44 Ginetta. He will be the first Ginetta of the 6 on the grid. Behind him, Tyler Morgan. He's scared of all the Ginettas around him in the Aston Martin number 72 in the Morgan Motorsports GT4. Alex Aguirre lines up alongside him in the number 9 Casual Chaps, number 11 Aston. Rounding out the top 10 is Josh Ransom in the 325 TVR Janetta. And over to Neil for the rest of the grid.
Trailing behind in P11, we have Liam Blanchard in the car 814 Firebrand Janetta. P12, we have Giancarlo Battini, also from Firebrand, car number 57. P13. I'm gonna get good at this at one point. Alice Nonohara, Wicked Sister Motorsports, car number 42. P14, Tulu Olajayegbe in the AMG, car number 13. Followed closely behind by P15, Lucas Toronto, Casual Chaps. Very pleasant name, car number 19. Our very own Dr. Porkchop in the single lone Alpine, Chop Shop Racing, car number 71. P17, Rocco Luciano, Apex Mafia, car 14. Our controller warrior out there, Hezi Thomas, representing the KTM and Dogbox Racing, car 59. P19, we have Rally Dutchy in Ninetail Racing, car 621. And rounding out our grid, we have P20, Evan Loranjo in Leipert Motorsport 314, the final at AMG on the grid. Weaving side to side, warming up their tires, getting ready for the 20-minute race that's gonna follow.
20-minute race ahead. Thanks, Tyler, for handling all that stuff. Unfortunate that you got that pit lane start, though. It happens. It happens. But lucky for you, you're not surrounded by a bunch of Janettas anymore, right?
Yeah, you're not scared anymore. I know, pit starts have worked out pretty well for you, Tyler.
Yeah,
and you get a chance to ask him about that.
Yeah, well, we saw this weekend at the 99 minutes of Silverstone, a great last to first result in the changing conditions here. So maybe Tyler just getting some inspiration from that race and trying to pull off a result of his own here, just like that. It'll be hard to match the pace of Akane Kalin, who has been at the front for a majority of the season, finishing out in front and having a hefty advantage in the championship.
I'm very curious to see where Wes Jones and Josh Ransom end up, because both of them are separated right now in the championship by about 7 points. Hold on, Ransom's out there. Okay. And then Drew Freiberger in P4 and Josh Ransom in the standings right now, both sitting at 250 points between the both of them. So P2 all the way to P5 is up for grabs in this race tonight.
And look at that Janetta swarm swerving from side to side. It's from Josh Ransom in 9th, all the way to Alice Nonohara in 12th, Blanchard in 10th, Bottini in 11th. And the grid lines up side by side as they cross into the third and final sector, getting any sort of last-minute preparations done on their cars, getting the traction control set. Maybe the brake bias needs a little bit of adjustment. And before the race start, go right ahead.
Very concerned to be Aguirre right now, the lone Aston Martin in a sea of Janettas.
Yeah, lucky for him, he should be able to get a decent jump on the start against the Janettas, but the race starts can be absolutely unpredictable, so we will have to see exactly what goes on. The grid rounds the final corner. We wait for the green lights to start race number 1. Green, 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 Kanabete, fantastic getaway. Kalin struggling off the line. Tony Gold goes into the lead. Can Kanabete take the inside line and take it all the way from third? He's gonna dive deep. He goes down the inside. One of the Janettas is gonna slide through and take out the 2 leaders, as well as Kalin. And that is
Oh, no, it's
absolutely
chaos.
chaotic start there with the Ginetta going sideways through turn 2.
Somebody definitely went bowling.
And after all that, Tony Gold is able to escape with the race lead. And how about that? Your man, Alex Aguirre, gets out of all of the Ginetta trouble and up to second place.
Amazing jump on the line. Just, you know, sometimes luck is on your side. Gold, I think, got lucky. Used a McLaren to kind of block for him. And then the unfortunate thing happened after that.
Yeah, I agree. That really reminded me of that one Monza incident. I think it was 2011, where there was just a car sliding through the chicane at turn 1, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. Wes Jones had to look up the inside of Drew Freiberger. Oh my goodness, 10 minutes of repairs.
No. Oh, that sucks.
Whoa, Wes Jones had a late dive down the inside there. And it looked like they weren't quite able to get away with it. More contact behind.
Must rejoin safely.
Yeah, Kane, it was hard to tell. The Ginetta was already sideways before it went through there, so there might have been contact all the way from the starting line. And yeah, it just couldn't quite pick up what happened on the cameras there.
If I were to guess, that car had contact prior to the braking zone to turn 1, and they went off track and just slid. They had looked like
Sir Kojay trying to defend the position there, and just couldn't quite keep it there with the Ginetta alongside. And it has been a strong start for a lot of these Ginettas.
Yeah, looks like they're driving elbows out. That was a very much, this is my apex, I will take it and move on.
Yeah, the Alpine qualifying outside the top 10 in 5th place under a lot of pressure from Giancarlo Bottini in the 57 Ginetta in one of the many Firebrand Ginettas we have on the grid. It gets a lot of grip exiting the S's, going up the hill. The Alpine defending the inside. Bottini just doesn't have the grip to go around the outside yet. And now down the inside, down the hill, trying to use the straight line speed. The Ginetta not known for it, but the Alpine is especially not known for its straight line speed.
Makes a move on the inside, backs out. Pork chop goes a little wide, but is able to hold it. See, both sick. Ooh, takes a bit too much of Cheetah, but is able to hold it. Bottini's really pushing to stick to the back of Pork Chop right now, just sitting in that Alpine's dirty air.
Yeah, he's trying his best to push Pork Chop through the corners. The Alpine very mighty in the curvy bits. And the Ginetta having a look down the inside. That is very late on the brakes and pushing the Alpine wide. It might be a three-way battle going to the next corner, but Bottini just backs out of it and gives the position back to Pork Chop, who remains up in 5th place, a little bit wide from Bottini. Sir Kojay having a look up the inside of Blanchard. Those two going side by side on the run down to Sunset, but the Ginetta has the inside and it looks like we'll defend that corner for now.
Ooh, that's some good racing from all those drivers. I am not envious of Pork Chop right now. He must be sweating bullets. He's got Bottini, Kojay, Blanchard, and Nonohara right on his tail.
Yeah, this is a great battle in the top 5. 4 cars in the frame. And Nonohara just getting in the shot there. Alpine of Pork Chop goes deep at the top of the hill, gives 2 positions up. 1 to Bottini, who moves up to 5th. 1 to Sir Kojay, moving up a place as well and losing 1 more there to Blanchard. So Dr. Porkchop, after running wide, he's going to try to defend down the inside, though. He's got it, and he defends well down the inside of turn number 13.
Amazing positioning by Porkchop right there. Looks like we also have another battle brewing between Hezi Thomas, Pirano, and Killcoin for P11, 12, and 13. Both cars are jumping positions on my timing board.
Yeah, there's a lot of jumps here. Wes Jones deep on the brakes, trying to take evasive action, but that might just turn into a fantastic move. Down the inside of Drew Freiberger, he moves up into third.
That was scary. You just see an AMG in your rearview mirror coming at you. Good on Freiberger for avoiding that.
Yeah, great evasive action. And good on Wes Jones. It looked like we were going to have a similar situation as we did in lap 1, where he was just going to go barreling sideways, but able to maintain the car out of a drift in the braking zone and gets a position on Drew Freiberger. And now this is a 3-car battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place.
So in the green car, that's Aguirre with Jones behind and Freiberger behind them.
Yeah, Tony Gold with a good gap ahead of this battle. Drew Freiberger down the inside! Nearly contact with the Aston. Aguirre giving him the room to run through. The Aston might take 2 places in 1 corner. Wes Jones isn't giving it up easy, though. He's gonna have to, though. He tucks in behind 2 cars here. Aguirre has the inside into turn 13. He's gonna position his car well here, rides the curbs, but he's able to get the grip out of the corner. Now, side by side, approaching Cheetah. Not a place you want to make a move, and Aguirre just decides the better of it. Tucks in behind, but might have lost a little bit of ground here. But Wes Jones backs out even more, as now Drew Freiberger moves up into 2nd place. Aguirre holds on to the final podium position, but Wes Jones is going to challenge that hard.
Yeah, he's got good run up to turn 1. Let's see. You see something?
Yeah, I was going to say that's Bottini, Kojay, and Porkchop. That's the top 5. That's the battle for 5th, nearly on the tail of this battle as well. So we might just have an absolutely epic battle for the podium positions on our hands. It's only been 8 minutes so far.
And these rookies are very close to one another, really positioning their cars well to either maintain position or, go for those risky overtakes on the inside line. So
and with these cars battling, they're just losing time to each other. Sir Kojay gets ahead of the Ginetta of Bottini, as does Dr. Porkchop. So the Alpine and the AMG back ahead through Giancarlo Bottini. So he is going to try to have to wait it out here and try and make that position up on the Alpine once again here.
The best situation would be to just sit in the Alpine's diffuser, basically try and get a run on that finishing line straight and see if they can close the distance. Well, it looks like Wes Jones. Aguirre goes a little wide. Wes Jones on the inside. Are we going to see? Nope. All right. Takes a bit too much of that cheetah curb, but as we've seen in qualifying, the AMG can handle it pretty well. So Wes Jones doesn't lose a lot of time, but they are dropping back from Aguirre, falling closer and closer into the clutches of Kojay, car 420 behind. Yeah, these gaps are slowly diminishing. We have less than a second gap between P4 all the way to P7.
Battles heating up absolutely everywhere. Tyler Morgan trying to fight his way back into the top 10. He's right behind the Ginetta here of John Killcoin. That's Luciano going deep into turn 1, giving the position both to John Killcoin and Tyler Morgan. So the Ginetta of Killcoin moves up into the top 10. Tyler Morgan's going to try to challenge that, though.
Yeah, sitting close behind on kill coin. Tyler Morgan, about 7/10 behind. Really needs to focus on getting their car rotated and just get back on throttle and utilize the Aston Martin straight line speed to really close that distance. Start making kill coin drive with their perspective on their car's rearview mirror. Looks like he brings it down another 2/10. But we're looking at Wes Jones right now, who's still chasing down Aguirre. They're gonna go through this Sector 3 corner sequence again. Looks like Jones is just taking a bit too much curbing with their AMG, and it's not helping him out.
No, he's trying his best to fight, but there's the AMG of Sir Kojay also trying to get involved in the mix as well. After Drew Freiberger's made the pass on Aguirre, he has built a pretty good 3.5 second gap over the Aston Martin in second place, and then Wes Jones just can't quite find a way by yet.
And talking about building up gaps, Gold looks like they're gone. 8 seconds between them and P2. They got an advantage at the start and just ran away with it. Just not interested in battling with all these cars behind them.
Yeah, got a bit fortunate at the start as well. And here's Tyler Morgan right on the back of the Ginetta, drifting through turn 4, trying to keep as much speed and hold on to that top 10 position.
I agree with you, Akane. Porkchop is having a great race, although probably a blood pressure inducing race. Increasing race. This has got to be exhausting for him.
Oh, absolutely. Just constantly checking the mirrors, seeing where cars are. But he's doing a great job of positioning the Alpine absolutely perfectly in the corners so that no cars can find an easy way by.
Yeah, on a track like Kyalami, there are places that you can make these overtakes, but you're right. Like he's positioning that car appropriately and just carrying enough speed to really keep this Ginetta behind him, just at bay, not giving him any space to stick a nose in and get that position.
Aguirre carrying a lot of speed through the final corner. Wes Jones was lining up for an overtake more than likely here. He's going to try it again, but this Aston has defended so well for this final podium position. As they go into turn 1, Wes Jones gets a fantastic grip exiting the corner, but he can't use it. Sir Kojay's going to slip through to 4th.
We have another AMG now in position to attack the rear of Aguirre. He basically traded one AMG for another AMG.
But after gaining that place, Sir Kojay ran a little bit into the gravel, just gave Wes Jones a slight opportunity to go side by side into Sunset, and he's still going to challenge him around the outside, but he just can't quite find the grip there.
Oh, that is bold. That is pushing your brake marker.
Oh, the Ginetta nearly losing it in the background there. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, it looks like Wes Jones is backing out a little bit. Looks like Ola Jayepe has a nice run on, was that Luciano? Or no, these are two AMGs. Ola Jayepe and Laranjo are battling for P14 and 15.
Yeah, Luciano just up ahead in that the Aston Martin there. Everybody's getting their cars mixed up today. Yeah, the two AMGs here battling, trying to get on the tail of the Aston Martin in front. And it's the same story at the front of the field. These two AMGs battling with each other, trying to fight their way past Alex Aguirre, who's just hanging on to that final podium position. This is going to be the first opportunity that Sir Kojay has into turn number 2.
And let's see how Koj approaches it. Taking the outside line.
Oh
Ooh,
my goodness me! That is mighty bold, and he gets it done around the outside!
Amazing.
Dr. Porkchop down the inside into the top 5! What is going on here?
Well, now Porkchop might be making a run on the Aston Martin of Aguirre.
Wes Jones, so close to the back of the Alpine there. This is crazy stuff. No, oh, Wes Jones, no!
Just
into the wall.
Too much curb.
Lucky for him, there's a pretty decent break in the traffic here. Good gaps, so he's only lost a place to Bottini and Blanchard. So he is only dropped back to 8th after that mightily consistent run. Just losing a few places here. Yeah, a bit too much curb there, I think.
Yeah, I think Wes Jones maybe played his curb card a little too many times and came up short. Every time you go over curbs, it's basically a roll of the dice in ACC whether or not your car will spin. And Wes Jones was holding it for quite a while. Ooh, oh my God, these Ginettas are just weaving around the track.
Yeah, that's John Kilcoyne going deep. Tyler Morgan might have a look up the inside of Cheetah. Not a place you want to go side by side. Josh Ransom looking to take advantage of that opportunity as well. Morgan having to defend to the inside. Josh Ransom can't quite find his way through here.
That is bold of both of them to go too wide through Cheetah.
So many battles all around. It is so hard to keep up with everything. Oh my goodness me.
There was a comment earlier of Ginettas flying around this track like buzzing bees. And this is a good representation of just Tyler surrounded by buzzing bees.
Yeah, he started from the pits hoping to avoid being swarmed by the Ginettas, but it's just not happening for him. They are all around him here.
That's Ransom. Ooh, going up the inside.
Oh, he gets it done!
And he sticks it! Oh my God! Just holds it, just takes the inside line, and with that exceptional corner speed of the Ginetta, just is able to hold off the Aston Martin.
And from this battle, into the top 5 we go. Dr. Porkchop getting hounded by Bottini behind, and he wants the position from Aguirre in front. Koj able to get that place a few laps ago, built himself a good 2.5 second gap over these 3 cars. Tony Gold on the final lap, heavy over the curbs is the Ginetta of Bottini. Was he able to keep it out of the wall? He was. Porkchop goes wide. They're going to go side by side down the main straight.
All right, which one has more straight line speed, Alpine or Ginetta? Let's find out.
This is your answer here. Aguirre in front, pretty much in the middle, not really favoring one car or another. Porkchop, unfortunately, on the outside. Bottini down the inside. It's going to be the over-under move for the Alpine, but it's just not quite there. Great positioning by the Ginetta to get the move on the inside.
A little wide, kicking up some dirt. He's able to hold it. Still in the battle. Bottini does have 5th position now, but Porkchop is eager to get that back.
And Josh Ransom wants the place in front. He has a bit of oversteer. Tyler Morgan gets exceptional grip out of the corner. Is he going to have a look down the inside of Sunset? He thought about it. He thought about it. Oh, and there's contact. There's contact. Josh Ransom is just going to be let through after Tyler Morgan knowing that was a little bit naughty.
I think he used his car as like a guiding arrow for Ransom. He maybe pitched Ransom into a spin and then just held his car there to allow him to, well, basically both stay in the same position. probably backing off a little bit now. Knew that was not the best overtaking spot, but good sportsmanship.
Good sportsmanship indeed. Tony Gold across the line takes P1 after avoiding all of the contact early on. He will finish in the top spot. Drew Freiberger takes the second step of the podium in his 419 McLaren. Sir Kojay with a good fight back up to third place. Alex Aguirre hangs on to fourth. Bottini in fifth. Dr. Porkchop, great result, up into sixth place. Liam Blanchard across the line in seventh in his Ginetta. Then Wes Jones, after that unfortunate spin at the closing end of the race, still in a good top 10 position in eighth. Alice Nonahara pressured by John Kilcoyne in ninth and 10th. And then Josh Ransom with Tyler Morgan across the line, 11th and 12th. Ola Joyegbe, the number 13, finishing in 13th place. Evan Laranjo, 14th. Luciano, 15th. Rally Dutchy in 16th place. Hezzy Thomas in the not the keyboard, the controller now, excuse me. My bad. My bad. And Fernando Carabete.
Send him back to his keyboard.
Yeah, we might just have to. We were talking about it earlier. It just doesn't have the same roll off the tongue as Keyboard Warrior does, but nonetheless, well, that's now our job to get used to it. And Carabete, after that unfortunate race start, sticking it out on the track, he will take the checkered flag in 18th place.
He's still a warrior. He just changed his weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe that race just ended right there. I've not been looking at the timing at all.
Yeah, it was super, super tight all race long. It seemed like time just absolutely flew by there. And we should be heading into another qualifying session here after this 20-minute timer ticks over. We'll have qualifying number 2 and then another 20-minute race to follow.
If that one wasn't action-packed enough, there's another one right after it.
That's always how it goes here.
Well, good luck, Kuja. I gotta hop off. Thanks for allowing me to participate and commentate with you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for joining. It's been super fun having you here. Have a good rest of your evening, Neil, and good luck on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that's right. I should probably that, huh?
Oh yeah, I gotta do that.
I gotta do that. All right. Good luck, everyone, and enjoy the race.
Big thanks to Neil for joining us, and thank you for the follow. Hope you guys are enjoying the action so far. That was race number 1 of 2, and yeah, we are lucky to have gotten so many fantastic overtakes in race number 1. Super excited to see what race number 2 will bring. A bit chaotic there at the start, at the pinch point of turn number 2, Ginetta going sideways into the crowd, into the leaders, and causing further gaps behind. Hopefully we'll avoid the same fate. Kalen also saying got an unfortunate getaway there with a double shift up the gears and just couldn't quite get the getaway, which is why Kalen got swarmed at the start by Carabete and Tony Gold, and unfortunately picking up a significant amount of damage in that further turn 2 contact. But lucky for us, we got another race for everybody to try and improve their result from before. And yeah, Kyalami is just one of those tracks where it's not a really common track. You don't see it in a lot of sims. It's not very well used in real life nowadays as well. The biggest event it hosts is the Kyalami 9-hour from the Intercontinental GT Series. But apart from that, historically has hosted F1 events, but not since its recent renovations in 2015. Cars are now out on their first flying laps here. So we will get our grid set for race number 2. Ola Joyegbe with a good result in the last race, just put in the consistent laps, stayed out of trouble, finished in 13th after saying didn't get a whole lot of practice for this round. We've got the insider knowledge here at Trackilicious. Tyler Morgan was the first car out on track in the number 72. Wes Jones not too far behind with Alice Nonohara in that yellow and black Ginetta. Just up the road in the number 42. Yeah, Rocco, it's always interesting to be in unfamiliar territory, but congrats on that good result, though. It's awesome to see you running up that high. And sometimes that's just all it takes, just getting out of trouble. As we have times on the board, Wes Jones at 51.1, Tyler Morgan in third now, Blanchard fourth, Kalen gets on the board with a 50.717 to set the provisional pole benchmark. There was Rocco Luciano in the pits. Where will Ola Joyegbe go in the number 13? Coming up to the line here, it will be 6th place for the time being. Lucas Torano crosses the line, moves up to 5th, about a 10th behind Tyler Morgan. Botini slots in behind him, ahead of Blanchard. Carabete goes up to 3rd. Serkoje in 4th place. As we await the times from further back, Josh Ransom in the 325 Ginetta, slight oversteer exiting the final corner. Coming up to the line, the Ginetta goes into 10th. Behind Evan Laranjo in the AMG. Up to 11th, just behind Josh Ransom. And then Alice Nonohara didn't get a time on the board on the first run. Looking to set one here. Going through the 3rd sector. Botini is the lead Ginetta in the number 57. Blanchard in 8th. Then Josh Ransom in 10th. Looking for times from John Kilcoyne. Nonohara here. Final quarter for the number 42. And Rally Dutchy in the pits. And coming up to the line, one of 6 Ginettas, splits the 2 on the grid, goes up to 8th place. The KTM sliding through Cheetah, a little bit off track, might have cost Hezzy Thomas a little bit of time here. Currently sitting in 13th place, needs about 4/10 to get past Evan Laranjo in front, but it doesn't quite look like this lap will be the one after getting unsettled out of the Cheetah corner. Carabete to the line and to the front row, up to 2nd place, about 2.5 behind Akane Kalen. Still looking for a time from the number 11 of Alex Aguirre. He's got Evan Laranjo in front of him. Laranjo to the line first, moves up a position. Aguirre goes into the top 10. Dr. Porkchop, no lap on the board yet. Where will he go? Just behind Aguirre into 11th place. Right on board with Serkoje for his final sector, about halfway into the first, or not in the first qualifying, into the second qualifying session. The number 420 currently has a time good enough for 4th place, needs about a 10th to slot in front of the lead AMG in front and very heavily over Cheetah. Lots of sausage taken, and back to the pits goes the number 420. Olajoyegbe avoids the same fate in his AMG, going through the final corner, looking for an improvement, needs 4/10 to get into the top 10. Where will this lap put Tolu? Goes up to 7th place. Josh Ransom looking for a big improvement here as John Kilcoyne gets a lap on the board. His first valid lap is good enough for a top 5 position. Where will Josh Ransom go? Had a good lap on his last run, but was just invalid, and he goes behind Kilcoyne up to 6th. Laranjo with Aguirre behind. Laranjo first, improves his time, but can't quite improve his position. Aguirre, though, gets ahead of a few Ginettas of Bottini and Nonahara. As that is Evan returning back to the garage. Lucas Toronto is looking for an improvement from 9th in the casual chaps. Aston Martin. Oh no, Akane's game crashed. Well, hopefully he'll be back in time before the race is up and going. It looks like he's actually back out on track. So all good there, it looks like, for the number 31. I love all this insider knowledge we get. Yes, if you do leave a session and rejoin, it saves your previous best time. So Kalen still has provisional pole as Lucas Toronto moves up to 6th, splits the Ginettas of Kilcoyne and Ransom. Ransom looking for an immediate response out of the final corner, and not quite able to match his personal best and improve past Lucas Toronto. So Alice Nonahara sitting in 13th place, needs a few tenths to get ahead and potentially into the top 10. It is super tight there between Blanchard Porkchop and Aguirre. 3 cars up ahead of Alice in the Wicked Sisters Motorsports. Ginetta handling Cheetah corner with ease, not even flirting with the curb. And just 1 corner left. Will this be the improvement that Nonahara is looking for? Just out of the final corner. Can't quite get the improvement, but still 3.5 minutes on the clock in this qualifying session to get a lap on the board. And Olajoyegbe was up in 7th, moved down to 9th with other drivers improving. Can Olajoyegbe get back to that position? Coming up to the line now, gets up to exactly 7th place. And Sir Kojay looking for a jump past Wes Jones in that all-AMG second row. As it stands, he gets an improvement in time, but needs about another 10th to get ahead of Wes Jones. Oh, Hezzy, you're always close enough there. It's absolutely anybody's guess what'll happen at any point. Tyler Morgan improves ahead of Lucas Toronto to be the lead Aston Martin on the grid in 6th place. You're the man, Hezzy. You know how to fight for positions. We've seen you fight after just avoiding all the chaos. You defend absolutely beautifully. And so absolutely nothing against the qualifying pace there. It's all about what happens in the race. And John Kilcoyne looking to spoil the AMG second row up in front to be the lead Ginetta, or he already is the lead Ginetta on the grid, but can he get onto the second row? He can! He splits the Mercs, and he goes up to fourth. Yeah, everybody's always got our... Everybody supports everybody here. It's a good growing group of rookies here in the GT4s. And yeah, that's all we can ask for, is just looking for improvement week to week. And just overall having a good time and enjoying it with the good crew that we were able to build here at Trackilicious. Dr. Porkchop taking a lot of curb at the top of the hill at turn number 10 before shooting back down, and he's looking to get a spot in the top 10 ahead of Blanchard. Those two separated by about 5 milliseconds. So any little bit of improvement for the Alpine can see him sit in that top 10 position. Final 10 seconds on the clock. So these are the laps where it counts. Where will Dr. Porkchop go? Just one corner left. Can the lone Alpine get into the top 10? Looks like he got good grip out of the final corner, and he gets about 3/10 on his personal best to get into the top 10. Top 4, all in the pits. It is down to Sir Kojay to spoil the party up in front. Can Tyler Morgan find a good chunk of time? He's about half a second behind Sir Kojay. But anything is possible here. The 420 just having a few crucial corners left. Cheetah first, avoids the curb, but still a little bit bouncy is that AMG as he goes through the final corner and just wasn't able to find the improvement earlier in the lap. So fifth will be as high as the 420 will finish, unless Tyler Morgan can spoil that party. And the number 72 Aston Martin, the 325 of Josh Ransom, also out on track. Tyler Morgan runs wide, and that will be the lap invalidated, and back to the pits goes the number 72 Josh Ransom to the line. And no improvement there from the 325. The 57 of Giancarlo Bottini looking for an improvement in 14th place. Needs about 300ths to get past Nonohara and a few tenths to get past Blanchard into 11th. Where will this lap put Giancarlo? He goes up to 11th place. Gains 3 positions on his final run. And from the daylight conditions of qualifying 1, race number 1, qualifying 2, race number 2 will be in the closing hours of the day. 7 p.m. local time. Sun is setting here at Kyalami, with the grid getting set for the start of race number 2 in round number 5 around Kyalami. With the grid getting mixed up from before, let's see how they line up for race number 2. At the front, It's the same driver as we've seen for a majority of the season. It's Akane Kalen in the number 31 Kiri Racing X-Spirit Racing McLaren, starting from pole position. It's an all McLaren front row with Fernando Carabete in the 704 KRT in second place alongside Kalen. Wes Jones starts from third in his Baller Squad Racing number 80 AMG. Behind him, John Kilcoyne, the lead Ginetta on the grid in the number 44 Fryer Brand, starts from fourth place. Sir Koj starts from fifth in the Chill Bibble Racing 420 AMG. Alongside him will be Tyler Morgan in the number 72 Morgan Motorsport GT4 Aston Martin. He's the lead Aston Martin on the grid. Alongside him will be the Aston of Lucas Toronto in the Casual Chaps number 19. Olai Joyegbe closes out the fourth row in the 13 AMG Motorsports. Josh Ransom starts from 9th in the 325 TVR Ginetta. Rounding out the top 10, you've got Dr. Porkchop in the 71. The lone Alpine on the grid had a mighty finish in race number 1. He's looking for the same here in race number 2. Cheers for that hydrate, Rocco. Gonna take one mid-grid walk here as we move on to Giancarlo Bottini in the number 57 Fire Brand Ginetta, starting from just outside the top 10 in 11th. Alongside him, it's an all Ginetta 6th row with teammate Liam Blanchard in the Firebrand number 84 alongside him. Then you've got Alex Aguirre was running in the podium positions for a good majority of the race in race number 1, starting from 13th in the number 11 Casual Chaps Aston Martin. Alongside him, Alice Nonohara in the number 42 Wicked Sister Motorsports Ginetta. Then you've got Evan Laranjo in the 314 Liepert Motorsports AMG. He starts from 15th place. The Controller Warrior alongside him, Hezzy Thomas in the 59 Dog Box Racing, the lone KTM on the grid. Rally Dutchy in the 621, the Nine-Tail Racing Ginetta starting from 17th place. Drew Freiberger in the 419 starts from 18th, the Mid-Pack Mafia driver, representing the Got a Minute Racing livery in his 419 McLaren. Rocco Luciano surprised to be in the top 10 in the last race, here starting from 19th in the number 14 Apex Mafia Aston Martin. And Tony Gold, the race winner from race 1, has a pit lane start in the number 87 Academy Motorsport. Will be very interesting to see how far up the grid Tony can work after showing great race pace in the first 20-minute race of the night. Headlights fully on for these GT4s. Kyalami at sunset, how fitting. I agree. These are some of the best hours to drive at Kyalami. Also, me and Neil were discussing that Kyalami, one of our favorite tracks in ACC, is just, I just love the flowing nature of it. It just seems to work itself into the landscape really well. Lots of overtaking opportunities, as we've seen from race 1. Just about every corner can open itself up for an opportunity to go side by side. Grid getting their tires warmed up. No tire blankets on the GT4s. It is all down to the driver to get the rubber up to the right working pressure and temperature to get it ready and going for the race start. Another aspect to consider, getting the brakes nice and warm, as well as those provide crucial temperature to the tires from inside the wheel. And so the drivers getting lined up side by side in zipper formation. Any last minute preparations can be done now. Will the drivers have learned anything from race number 1 and where exactly they can overtake. We've seen great side-by-side racing, some contact here and there. Let's see what happens going into turn number 2 this time. Will Kalen get a better start on this go-around? Fernando Carabete alongside this time, not behind. Will he get the jump to fight for position down the main straight and into turn number 1? Getting the last minute preparations as they head down the grid for the green light.
Green light, go, go, go.
And there is the green light. Kalen with a better getaway this time, has the inside for turn 1. A great start from Kilcoin in the number 44 Ginetta, up to 3rd for now. Josh Ransom having a look down the inside, making it 4 wide. Tyler Morgan forced wide. Oh no, Kilcoin into the side of Wes Jones, and he goes heavily into the wall, exiting turn number 2. There is further drama behind between the two Aston Martins. That's Lucas Toronto and Tyler Morgan battling for position. Alex Aguirre getting involved as well. Dr. Porkchop trying to slide through and get that Alpine into a good position here, up to 9th so far for the Alpine. And Kalen getting a good getaway. Carabete still in 2nd. Kilcoin up to 3rd in the Ginetta. Josh Ransom with that fortuitous jump down the inside, forcing a lot of drivers to go 4 wide, as Sir Koj is going to have a look around the outside at the top of the hill at turn 10. Not an easy move to get done. Can Koj get the grip around the outside? And so far, Ransom stays ahead in the Ginetta, but will it be different going into the braking zone at turn 13 for the first time? The Ginetta looks like it went a little bit deep, opening up the inside. Cheetah, a very difficult place to go side by side, and Sir Koj just tucks back in behind. That's Bottini running wide. Lucas Toronto side by side with the Ginetta in the final corner. And he gets up into 6th after Giancarlo Bottini runs wide at Cheetah. Oh no, Alice got disconnected. No, that is so unfortunate to hear. Aguirre down the inside. Can't quite force his way through there. Now Tyler Morgan side by side through turn 3 and turn 4. Olojoyegbe trying to get involved in the mix down the inside. Aguirre oversteers, exiting the corner. He's at a disadvantage here, running up to Sunset. Tyler Morgan down the inside. It looks like he's going to be able to sweep through the Sunset and take advantage and move up to 10th place. Oh, contact! Tyler Morgan hangs on to it, though. Great save from the 72. So many cars trying to fit their way into one corner. Drew Freiberger and Rocco Luciano from the back of the grid, nearly up in the top 10. Oh no, contact! Luciano into the side of Morgan, and his car just goes bouncing to the right. Fortunately for him, keeps it out of the barrier and rejoins at a good and safe opportunity here. But unfortunately for him, he is back behind Rally Dutchy in the 621 Ginetta. Already the chaos levels being matched from race number 1. Olojoyegbe heavily over the curb. That was Aguirre even heavier over the curb. The Aston Martin facing the wrong way. And now, after all the cars have passed through, able to turn the car around and get it pointed in the correct direction. And after that, Tyler Morgan is going to have a look on Olojoyegbe down the inside of turn 2, late on the brakes. the AMG. In race 1, we've seen Sir Kojay have the grip to fight that around the outside, but Ola Joyegbe can't quite fight Tyler Morgan there. And back into the top 10 goes the 72 Aston Martin, defending heavily down the inside of Sunset, though. Drew Freiberger looking to get a position, as is Tony Gold from the pit lane. And right on cue, here comes Gold. He's looking to get into the top 10 as soon as possible, lining up a move. Oh no, contact with Drew Freiberger. Fortunately, Drew Freiberger able to keep it out on track. Tony Gold into the gravel at the S's. Nonohara there exiting the pits after getting disconnected earlier on, not looking to get involved in the drama here. And yeah, I agree. That's a very, very tough spot to get the move done unless you're already side by side into the braking zone there. Sir Kojay able to get through Josh Ransom, so Kojay in his 420 AMG up to 4th place, has about a 3-second gap to John Kilcoyne in that final podium position in the number 44 Ginetta. Carabete has the fastest lap of the race, applying the pressure to Kalen out in front, and John Kilcoyne is showing some great race pace here in his Ginetta, not letting the gap open up to the leaders by more than a 1.5 seconds. The two McLarens just seem so evenly matched, but the way they're driving them, especially through that corner, very differently. Kalen seems a lot more planted, whereas Carabete is just throwing the car into the S's. And down the inside, Kalen having to defend the position. This might be a good opportunity for Carabete to try and get the better exit, and John Kilcoyne is not giving any breathing room to the two lead McLarens. This is great stuff to see. We'll go back to this battle just outside the top 10. Drew Freiberger looking to get the place on Ola Joyegbe to move his McLaren up into 11th. Ola Joyegbe down the inside is defending, but getting back more or less on the racing line, going a little bit deep through the apex. But once again, the run up to Cheetah is just so short, and it's very difficult to go side by side. Drew Freiberger heavily over the curbs, but keeps his car under control. Tyler Morgan, after his little bit of contact in turn 2 and further up the hill, looking to get the place around the outside of Blanchard. Blanchard defending it very well though, but Tyler Morgan is forcing his way through and trying to get any sort of track position on the Ginetta, but doesn't quite have it yet. Gets a great exit though, and into Sunset Corner. We've seen him pull off an overtake here. This time he's gonna try around the outside. Blanchard defending very well though. And down the inside goes Tyler Morgan in his 72 Aston Martin up to 9th place. He now has the Aston of Lucas Toronto in front to chase down. The gap is right around 8 seconds for that position. And Josh Ransom dropping back a few positions. He was in 5th, gets now behind the Alpine of Dr. Porkchop. That gives Bottini 5th. Porkchop moves up to 6th, and another great race for the Alpine, as well as the Ginetta of Bottini after qualifying outside the top 10. The Alpine runs deep through turn 13, but keeps the grip and keeps the speed. Holds on to track position as they approach Cheetah Josh Ransom. Going over the curbs heavily, maintaining the Ginetta under control though. As this battle for 6th will heat up down the start-finish straight. Porkchop defends the inside, Ransom around the outside. Can't quite find the grip there to take the position from the Alpine, but this might be the place down the inside of turn 4, but the Alpine having fantastic grip. And we are at the halfway mark of the race. So many different 3-car battles happening here. This is the battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th, with Lucas Toronto now getting involved in the mix in the number 19 Aston Martin. Killcoin all over the back of Carabete for 2nd place. That Ginetta is looking to move up the standings quickly. He's got the fastest lap of the race to his name. Perhaps these cooler night conditions favoring the Ginetta over the McLarens just that little bit to see him fighting for positions. Down the start-finish straight, it'll be pretty difficult for the Ginetta to keep up with the McLaren, but he does have the slipstream. He's staying well close to Carabete down this start-finish straight, but just not quite close enough yet to get that move done. But he's forcing his way side by side, nearly on corner exit. And that Ginetta is really picking up the pace here. And if he can clear the 7:04 in a few laps time, he might be able to chase down Kalen for the race win. Lucas Toronto a little bit back from that battle in 8th place, looking to get ahead of Josh Ransom in the 325 Ginetta. Tyler Morgan has made up about 3 seconds on these 2 cars out in front, so towards the end of the race we might just see the 72 Aston get involved in this battle for position here. Drew Freiberger gets into the top 10 ahead of Ola Joyegbe. Those 2 cars were battling for position on the previous laps, and Drew Freiberger in the McLaren able to get through the AMG. Keeping track of Tony Gold from the pits, now up to 13th, gets ahead of Rally Dutchy, looking to get on the back of Blanchard. And yeah, perhaps you're right there, Cody. Maybe the Ginetta just not feeling any tire wear and is able to push on and get those quick and consistent laps in, while the McLaren's just trying to do their best and hang on in these closing 7 minutes. The top 3 still showing good pace. They're lapping a good amount, not a good amount, I'd say about a half-second quicker than Sir Koj in the 420, who it looks like has run wide at the exit here. He might come under pressure from Giancarlo Bottini here, running in the top 5 in his number 57 Ginetta. And here we go, Tony Gold to the inside. He thought about it, on Sunset Corner, but just tucking back to the racing line behind Blanchard. Maybe out of corner exit, alongside, around the outside, keeps the grip. And will he get the move done? He's got it before the braking zone of the S's. Great move from Tony Gold, drifting through there side by side with the Ginetta. Blanchard is fighting back, looking for the cross under, but it just didn't open up for the Ginetta. Great move from Tony Gold up into 12th. Just up ahead of that battle, Josh Ransom able to shake off Lucas Tirana, who was pressuring him for 7th, and now he is on the back of the Alpine once again for 6th place. Down the main straight they go, the Alpine just showing the inside line there. And showing that he's got it absolutely covered, and back up the hill they go! Deep in the braking zone, but the Alpine with the absolutely mighty grip keeps the position around the outside. And there's been a swap once again between Ola Joyegbe and Drew Freiberger. Those two just cannot figure out who will finish in the top 10 in this race. 4 minutes to go. Time is ticking down. One of these two cars will have to be in the top 10. One will just have to be outside unless something crazy happens out in front or behind even. Tony Gold might just get involved in this battle here come the end of the race. And side by side, whoa! My goodness! What the heck? Man, Josh Ransom just went side by side with the Alpine, and the Alpine just got scooped! Ola Joyegbe, amazing avoiding action to avoid the Alpine there. And what? That just seemed like some crazy netcode there between Josh Ransom and the Alpine there. I would really love to watch that back, but we might just be able to the end of the race. Tony Gold heavily over the curb, sparking the bottom of the car as he is in hot pursuit of a top 10 position. He's got it now. Dr. Porkchop and Josh Ransom having that collision, exiting turn 10, dropping them a good amount of places outside the top 10 now, allowing Tony Gold to fight with Ola Joyegbe and Drew Freiberger. And down the inside, Tony Gold thinking about the late move, but that is a quick corner to try and get that move done. Tony Gold really fighting for these positions here. Yeah, that was a crazy little freak accident. It just seemed like the netcode just would not unstick the cars from each other. And then as soon as they went over the curb, the Alpine just went tumbling. And of course, all of that happened, I believe, during an ad break, so a lot of you didn't quite see what happened there, but that was absolutely chaotic stuff. Kalen from the lead on the final lap of the race, able to get more than a second between the lead McLaren and the McLaren in second place of Carabete. Then the gap opened up a good amount to about 2.5 seconds to John Kilcoyne in third place. Thanks for that follow. Hope you're enjoying the action. so far in the race. Last lap here. Will we see any changes of position? Tony Gold having a good run after starting from the pits. He's in the top 10 and he's looking to make it single digits, looking to go up to 9th place ahead of Ola Joyegbe and then maybe Drew Freiberger, but he's raised the gap by about a second, and it's these two just fighting for track position. Dr. Porkchop in the Alpine trying to get close and take advantage of any sort of chaos that may happen. And Tony Gold just can't quite find his way by the AMG in front. Yellow flag there for Aguirre, who returns back to the pits on the final lap of the race. This is going to be a good run for the Aston Martin, up the hill, down the inside. And it's going to work out because the 13 goes deep into the corner, opening up the inside for that position. Akane Kalin crosses the line. It's a redemption race after getting taken out in the first race. Gets P1 in race 2. Karabete, same to him after finishing in 18th last race. The front row is the two McLarens, and great result from John Kilcoyne in a podium position to lead Ginetta on the grid. Serkoje 4th, Giancarlo Bottini 5th, Lucas Toronto across the line in 6th place, Tyler Morgan recovering well to 7th place, Drew Freiberger in 8th, and who will be in 9th? Ola Joyegbe gets the position back. Porkchop moves up into the top 10, Josh Ransom 11th, and what happened to Tony Gold? He goes back to the pits. No, what happened to Gold there at the end? He will finish in 14th behind Laranjo, Dutchy, Blanchard. Josh Ransom takes that final top 10 position. Or no, excuse me, that grid is a little bit jumbled. So the order for the end of the race, Kalin P1, Karabete 2nd, John Kilcoyne in 3rd. Then you've got Serkoje 4th, Bottini 5th, Lucas Toronto 6th, Tyler Morgan 7th, Freiberger in 8th, Ola Joyegbe 9th, Dr. Porkchop P10, Josh Ransom 11th, Liam Blanchard 12th, Rally Dutchy 13th, Laranjo 14th, Alice Nonohara here across the line in 19th. Then Tony Gold 15th, Luciano 16th, Hezi Thomas in 17th, Alex Aguirre 18th, and Alice Nonohara in 19th. He lost it last quarter. No, I was trying to tune in back to that battle, just couldn't get to it in time as cars were crossing the line here. That is the end of race number 2, and round number 5 comes to a close there. Pretty dramatic stuff at Kyalami this week. And we would love to invite our top 3 into the green room for a quick chat of how it went there for everybody. Hey, it's not embarrassing, Alice. It's how racing goes. You disconnected, but I love seeing the perseverance and sticking it out on track and just getting those laps in instead of just calling it a night. So I love seeing that. That's say what you want, but yeah, absolutely. This is, as I've said in the broadcast, it's one of my absolute favorite tracks to race on. Great memories around here from a 24-hour race. I remember getting beached on the curb in the first part of the race, and our sister car had to come push us off. And so that super fun memories all around from Kyalami. And so yeah, just Here we go. We've got the race, or some finishers, I should say. We'll bring in Drew Freiberger first here. How's it going, Drew? Finished on the podium in race number 1. I think we're going to split it up in race number 1 and number 2 here, since they were a bit chaotic here. We're just going to have to dissect each one as they go. But yeah, you were just able to kind of take advantage there, and I think P2 for you.
Yeah, I was really lucky to be able to peel around the T2 madness that happened. And then had a few good jogs for third, fourth, and then finally second. Yeah, it was definitely an exciting race.
Yeah, it seemed like that all throughout. You guys were just applying the pressure and just a lot of cars out of position there. Talk us through what it's like for battling a car which maybe just, is a little bit off the pace compared to you, but still, when they're able to defend how they are, how frustrating can it be just trying to get by a car like that?
Oh, definitely early on, it's very, very frustrating to try to work by getting by somebody that's defending so well as Ola Jayegbe was in both races. And yeah, it's sometimes you're like, I could go faster, but at the same time, you got to make sure that you're making safe passes. And I know I made a really sketchy call into Lukop, but I think it paid off without too much damage.
Yeah, we saw kind of a few of those there in race number 1, where it was kind of a last minute either avoidance maneuver that turned into a fantastic overtaking opportunity. And Tony Gold joining us here with the race win in P1. Starting from the front row, you kind of took that lead after the turn 2 chaos and never looked back.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, when that car, I don't even really know what happened. It just,
same here.
I got some side panel damage, and all of a sudden everybody was spinning out, and I was like, this is my opportunity, and I created that gap and I stuck with it. And honestly, man, after last week, I needed it.
Yeah,
you were pushing so hard.
Yeah, you were. And even in race 2, just unfortunate at the end there. You were pushing so hard and almost got a top 10 position out of it too. But let's focus here on race 1. What worked so well for you here in that Aston Martin, just getting the pace around Kyalami? We didn't really expect those McLarens to be matched at the front of the field, and you were able to do just that.
Honestly, I think it was mostly my ABS settings. I was running a pretty high ABS, and I was kind of turning into the corners a little bit later, braking later, trying to carry as much speed as I possibly could. And I was almost kind of drifting in a sense. Mm-hmm. I wasn't really slowing for the corners. I was trying to get a little bit of a slip through them. And I felt like that was able to keep my speed up and give me the lap times I was looking for.
Yeah, taking more of a rally approach and turning your forward momentum into sideways momentum.
Exactly.
Well, you're able to get it done, pulled off the race win. Drew almost had the pace to chase you down there, but just getting involved in some battles, but still great strong result from you two. Congrats on the podium finishes, the race wins, and good luck in the remaining rounds we have. I believe 3 to go. And so, yeah, good luck to you guys in those.
Thanks so much.
All right, thank you. Yeah, good race, Drew. I had to keep you back there.
Oh my God.
That's just how it goes sometimes. I'll move you back here to the green room, and we will bring in our race 2 podium sitters, Fernando Carabete, Akane Kalin, and John Kilcoyne joining us here. Congrats on finishing out in front in race number 2.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know for the 2 McLarens there, Kalin and Carabete, you guys got involved in a little bit of an incident there at the start of race 1.
I have some thoughts on this. Involved is an overstatement.
Yeah,
we were victims.
Yeah, that's fair. Yes, couldn't quite pick out what happened there, but let's focus on race 2 here. You guys absolutely crushed it there and didn't really look back. But the Janetta there, John Kilcoyne, you were looking a little mighty there in the middle of the race, almost challenging them for the second place there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's my second race in these cars.
Yeah, so yeah, huge props to you to keeping up there in race number 2. What was different from race 1 for the Ginetta to be able to match the pace at the front there?
So in race 1, I really had to fight down from P17 to P10 in a damaged car, because of that lap 1 incident. Because my car was the one who was initially, damaged and launched into T1. And so I had to fight all race to try and climb up and defend really hard all race. And I'll be honest, ever since that first race, like my pace just kind of exploded from there, honestly.
Yeah, out for revenge, let's say. And you guys were able to get it, though. Yeah, all 3 of you involved in that. And look at that for a comeback story. Back on the podium for all 3 of you. And so we'll take it. Yeah, well, Kalen, we'll start with you here. Taking the race win, you've done it here all season long. How was it defending around Kyalami? We were having some insight that you didn't quite have a lot of practice around here.
Oh my god, I despise this track. No, it was pretty terrible at start. I had a lot of problem with how cambered the track is. Some of these corners are really bad on the McLaren, but I found my pace, and I was on pace for like ridiculous lap in the first race. I was on pace for a 149.2 in the first race, but I ran out of fuel. So yeah, I think I just warmed up to it eventually, but it was difficult, pretty difficult.
Yeah, it's always tricky, especially around a track you don't know too well. And Fernando, how was it for you getting in that battle? You were in the middle of a sandwich there with a car in front and behind.
Yeah, it was really tough. And I think I could close to Kaylin. John was there, throwing the car inside, and it was really fun, the race. John had the pace to get the second place, but I'm happy that I got it.
Yeah, Fernando was excellent, honestly. I had so much fun chasing you two guys.
Yeah, it seemed like super fun. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, my whole goal the entire time was just P3. I was just like, I'm just going to hold this. If I can fight and have fun, I'll do it. But, I wasn't expecting anything more than 3.
And lots of love from you in the chat here, John. They're saying you sound so handsome, and they bet you're tall, and you're so humble here. Lots of fans from the Firebrand, it looks like here. So super fun to see that. And yeah, lots of you guys in the Ginettas on the grid here tonight. Super fun to see the Ginettas in full swarm, as we were saying all night.
Yeah, so all Firebrands, we all practiced really hard this week, preparing for this race. I did a lot of setup work preparing for it.
Heck yeah, super fun to see that, all the teamwork that goes into it. And yeah, the 2 McLarens at the front, I just can't compliment you guys enough on being able to set a super huge, tall benchmark at the top. And at the moment, it seems like we're getting a lot of people chasing it down. Tony Gold, Drew Freiberger getting involved in the mix as well. You guys might have some competition getting here.
I want to give a quick shout out to Gold. He was doing amazing this track. He ran my pace for like the whole first race. It was amazing. I was watching. Very, very nice race from him. And from Drew too, to end up on the podium too. A lot of people are catching up to us, and they're doing really well. I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we'll just have to see exactly what happens next week at Valencia, round number 6. 3
I'll win.
More weeks to go. And yeah, good luck in the rest of the championship for you guys. Congrats on picking up the podium positions here. And as always, thanks for taking the time and joining us here in the broadcast.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we'll move you guys back here to the green room, join the other podium sitters, and that will take us to the end of round number 5. Valencia next week for round number 6 in the Monday of Rookies. LMU Tuesdays and Fridays. I believe the leagues will be getting announced shortly here. Anytime in the Discord. Signups for all of those will be open on SimGrid. Wednesdays, we've got the multi-class championship, I believe, going to Imola this week, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Imola on Wednesday, so tune into that starting about an hour and a half later than the broadcast started this week. Thursday is the one and only day for iRacing. They are having a ton of fun in their multi-class championship this season. And yeah, if you want to get signed up, !SimGrid is the place to go for that. What else are we missing here? Oh yeah, to the Trackilicious website. Get yourself a hat. There's shirts available as well with silhouettes of your favorite GT3 cars and a lot of other fun stuff. Socks, underwear, all the likes. Holiday season is coming up. These would make a good gift to any motorsports fan. Yeah, check out the website, check out the Discord, check out SimGrid. All of the best and latest info is always in the Discord. Make sure to check that out for any sort of fun events that we may host as well. This weekend we had the 99 minutes of Silverstone. And so yeah, always having some fun here at Trackilicious, hosting these GT4 rookies on Mondays, the multi-class championship, the GT3s and GT4s on Wednesdays, with me and Tyler Morgan, who is out on track here on Mondays. Him and Neil switching duties in the booth Mondays and Fridays. That was super fun to see their little banter in the commentary booth go on. So that is always fun to see and kind of get involved with as well. We're going to get a raid set up here for another sim racing community. And as always, make sure to tell them Trackilicious sent you. And a follow right at the end there from Phoenix. Thanks for following along. And as always, have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you may be watching us. Thank you for joining us. So much chat going on tonight. We couldn't be here without you guys in the chat and all those participating in the races. Thank you from myself and everybody who does all of the hard work getting these championships and such set up. Thank you guys for watching tonight. Stick around for the raid of Garrett Maines doing some oval racing in iRacing. Stick around, tell him Trackilicious sent you, and we'll catch you next time.